All right, now listen, y'all. I know I look like a potato, but y'all came here for some good vibes and a good tarot reading, right? So, hey, girl. Hello, Sagittarius, how are you doing? My name is SimplyVelca, and I'm going to be doing your general weekly reading. Now, I also do your general weekly love reading for you and your person, which I'll put a link to over here should you want to check that out. But when it comes to any of my readings, though, rely on your intuition because, put it in perspective, I'm just a man reading you some tarot cards, Sagittarius. You know your situation better than I ever possibly could, so take the cards that resonate and leave what doesn't because I'm not going to be offended by it. Now, if you do enjoy this reading, please be sure to give me a like and subscribe because it does help out my channel a lot. And I'm always super appreciative when you guys take the time to do that for me, Saji. So, also, let me know in the comments below if there's a card that I pull for you that gives you an aha moment. I love hearing about y'all's moments and experiences when it comes to these readings. That's how I keep up with y'all in the comments, is how a reading pertains to you or resonates with you, right? Or how a specific card called out to you in a specific way, right? I enjoy hearing about y'all's moments. So, yeah, let's just get into your reading now, Sagittarius. On the left-hand side of your puzzle, top left for your puzzle this week, Sagittarius, I feel like I just called you Aries. I hope I didn't. Sagittarius. Knight of Coins on your top left side. I like this energy. This is a good starting energy. You're going into... Knight of Coins represents like you're venturing into some type of new foundational energies. This is like a... something, I would say, just basing it off of the clarifiers that we have, which are all Pentacles and Page of Wands. I guess we'll get into that in a moment, though. It's seemingly like you've been having your mind on, like, this is something that's you've been thinking about in your mind for a while now. On the top left-hand side of your puzzle, we have the Temperance card in the reverse. So action's being taken, right? You're no longer being patient. This week, I almost tried to call you Aries right there, Sagittarius. This week, Saggy, it seems as if you're about action this week. I really enjoy this. So let's get into the clarifiers now, right? For the clarifiers that we have for your Knight of Coins, we have the Page of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. So, I feel like this is where you're taking on a lot. Now, this is where I'm going to just give you a heads up just because I'm just as like a reader, right? When I see this type of energy, this is someone who's kind of like diving into this new passion project and then overwhelming themselves with projects regarding that passion. Let me explain what I mean by this. Page of Wands lets me know like you just like, this is like a person that has like a bunch, like a creative idea, and they just like message all the people that they want to involve in this creative project, right? Two of Pentacles comes in where you start overwhelming yourself with this Page of Wands energy, where it's just like you start putting adding a lot to your plate, even though it feels good, even though I see it working out with this Three of Pentacles, Sagittarius. I just feel like I feel like it's a lot. And so I only want to say this just as like a heads up, Saggy, of do not experience burnout. Do not burn yourself out in any type of way. I kind of want to give the advice of just like one step at a time, right? With this Three of Pentacles energy, there's only 3 people in this room. Let's try to limit it to 3 different things that you're going to work on your plate rather than 30 different things that you're going to juggle on your plate, right? Because keep in mind, you're still this Knight of Coins, right? This Knight of Coins is the representation of you're going somewhere new, right? You're taking action into somewhere new. You have the passion for it with this Page of Wands, right? But you're still a beginner at it, right? You don't want to overwhelm yourself when you're going into uncharted territories, right? Take it step by step. There's no reason to rush this, right? I know you're rushing something on some level, Sagittarius, because of this Temperance card in the reverse. Now, what does this mean? Temperance card in the upright usually means someone that needs to just be patient a little bit longer, divine timing and all of that. So when I see this, you're no longer, when it's in the inverted, I feel like you're no longer, not to say that you're impatient, because again, I do feel like this is something that you've been kind of racking within your brain for a while, Sagittarius. I just get that feeling. The clarifiers that I have for your Temperance card is the Ace of Swords, the Hanged Man, as well as the Knight of Wands. Now, you may have noticed or clocked me when I like flipped this card around because this Hanged Man could be in the reverse for some of you Sagittariuses. Let me break down the storyline here. This Hanged Man. For some of you Sagittariuses, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this Knight of Cups or Knight of Coins, this action is finally being inspired, this Temperance in the reverse is finally being inspired by some other event, maybe not entirely related to you happening. Now, this could be you saw something on television and you were inspired. This could have been someone in your life. Like, this is just like an energy if it was in the reverse, of where I feel like something outside, where it wasn't directly impacting you, inspired you to go forward with that Ace of Swords and this Knight of Wand energy, right? Because the Ace of Swords talks about something, some creative things inspiring you, and this Knight of Wands means you're passionately going towards it, right? With not really, again, not any wait time, with that Temperance card being in the reverse for you. Now, if this Hanged Man is in the upright for you, this is letting me know that something happened in your life, Sagittarius, that inspired you to go after this. Now, I don't perceive this necessarily as a bad thing that happened to you, and if it hasn't happened this week, I kind of can let you know to anticipate something, kind of like pay attention this week to see what sparks your inspiration. But again, like, I don't see this as necessarily a bad thing. I just see this as like a situation of where it's just like some type of action is being taken on your part because of something else happening. And when you have that energy, there can be a little bit of a rushedness to it, a little bit of unrefinement, which ends up being, I feel like, just where you end up putting too much on your plate, because it's like, depending on what that situation was, that kind of like triggered your fight or flight maybe, or what have you. It may have been like, that's like your coping mechanism of just like stacking on more projects on yourself, so you just keep busy and you don't think about it, right? So that's all I'm gonna say on this first, the top row of your puzzle. Sagittarius, I feel like you get the point. If you get the point, right? Let's get into the bottom half of your puzzle. The bottom left side for you is the Four of Swords. Oh my gosh, Sagittarius, along with the Five of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords was in the reverse for you with the Five of Swords. So the Four of Swords upright is someone that's healing from some type of mental. Usually I kind of take this as someone that has like some type of inner turmoil. This usually would happen because of like ego or what have you. You're finally getting over it. This Five of Swords, I feel like it's because of some type of outside source. So this is leading me to, I feel like it's connected to your top right hand puzzle piece pile, Sagittarius, and whatever this Hanged Man is involving. I feel like this is what this energy is touching on, where it's like, because this card was in the reverse, I do feel like some of your actions or what it is that you're piling onto your plate is kind of like a trigger response. And it may involve other people. Maybe your trigger response is how other people responded to you or how other people perceive you, right? Let's look at the clarifiers. We have the Eight of Cups, Five of Cups, and the Empress card coming in for you. Now, these two cards were in the reverse for you, with this Empress card in the upright. So, Saggy, I don't know if you're going to enjoy what I have to tell you here, but this is like an energy of where I really do see like a cycle, a long cycle happening here for you, Sagittarius. You're about to get some tough love from me. I see a cycle of someone seeing something happen and you getting triggered by that response. So, what do I mean by this? Let's just use an example completely off the wall. Let's say you, like one of your best friends, I'm not saying this is how you are, it's literally just the essence of the example. Someone else gets in a relationship that you know. Because if you're single, because they got into a relationship, that triggers you to find like the most fulfilling relationship ever. And then you end up going on a lot of dates to find the one, and you end up not finding the one because like all these actions, while they are good and good intentioned, are based off of some type of thing that you are, some type of trigger response where it's like you're never going to fully grow, that like the Empress represents, because this is all based off of some type of trigger response and not actual like depth, right? Because while you are actively trying to grow, right, you're still paying attention to the cups that were spilled, right? Your energy is still focused on, maybe this is kind of like the energy where it's like you're being hard on yourself, perhaps, Sagittarius, where you're feeling there's something lacking in you. Why can't I have a thriving relationship when other people are? And it's not like a jealousy thing. It's more so like it's almost as if you're looking at yourself in like this aggressive, methodical way of figuring out what it is that you need to walk away from or improve on so you can grow like other parties or other whatever it is, right? But it's all based off of this Hanged Man energy that like sparks something in your brain to really start diving deep with this fiery energy, Sagittarius, where you go like like head in on something, right? It's not bad energy. It's just like be aware of how your mental and like the trigger responses that you might have, right? Seven of Swords is the bottom right hand of your puzzle, the ending puzzle piece to your week. So this is, again, where, again, this is an energy of like juggling too much, Sagittarius. So really, do not put too much on your plate because you're trying to supplement something, right? Six of Wands, Ace of Wands, Three of Swords, the Star card. Saggy. Saggy. Girl. So, let's continue on with this. Girl, Saggy. Let's continue on with that analogy with that relationship. You saw someone else get into a relationship. The Six of Wands and the Ace of Wands is, again, letting me know where you're being too hard on yourself. It's almost as if like your trigger response and seeing someone else that you respect, right? Because again, I want to base this off all of where you, like, there's no negative connotation towards other parties, right? It just like, because again, I just feel like you're seeing yourself in this methodical way because you're just so passionately trying to improve yourself that it's like you look at other people that you respect and it's almost as if you're being like, well, why can't I be the same person getting this spotlight? Why can't I be the same person getting that thriving relationship? Ace of Wands is letting me know where it's just like you're asking yourself, being like, what is it that I'm doing wrong? And it's based off of this Three of Swords pain, and you end up giving yourself more pain because of this Six of Wands that could normally, again, be inspiring, be like based, like again, when you go out on those dates, it'd be based off good intention, you're trying to improve, but because it's not going and your heart's not in the right place, it just is caused by this pain. Like it causes you more pain, it causes you more frustration. You go into this toxic cycle where you start beating yourself up for it while overwhelming yourself and putting too much on your plate that then you have to commit to on some level, right? The Star card, it's all based off of like you're just wanting so much, Sagittarius. You have such a high standard for yourself, and it all makes sense as to why you're acting this way, Sagittarius. I just want to let you know, and I feel inclined to say that you are good enough, Sagittarius. Stop being so harsh on yourself. You need to start looking in the mirror and start taking yourself and the emotions out of your situation and start appreciating and assess what it is that you've accomplished, what it is that you're actively working on, rather than looking at these people that you have such a high respect for, right? This is a lesson I've recently learned as well, where it's like, I respect people so much. I respect and I like am so inspired by creative minds so much that I will put them on such a great pedestal. And without even trying, I make myself feel insignificant, even though I don't have a bad language with myself. I just don't see myself in the same lighting as these people that I admire and what have you, right? And I feel like that's kind of the same for you. Stop internalizing and feeling like you're not doing something good enough and just go, like, I don't know. I feel like we'd have to deep dive a little bit more into why it is you're doing this pattern, but this is just a general reading, Saggy. So at the end of the day, I do have to close this reading out at some point, but I love you so much. Hopefully this reading was of resonance to you in some type of way. Be sure to let me know in the comments if it was, Saggy. But yeah, I love you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.